Hello everyone, this is Jaeger, and as I said before, if you're looking for good content, you're still in the wrong place, and what are you doing here? With that being said, we're looking at DLSS and FSR on Silent Hill 2. There's not a whole lot to go over on this one, except for when you get to the performance modes as usual. The numbers might surprise you on this one, so let's get into it. So here, if I recall correctly, this is like my third time recording this video. So if y'all don't give it a like, there's nothing I can do about it. Anyway, I'll quit. 2 videos in, I'm done. Um, so as you can tell, this is just standard. This is DLSS 3080, 10 gig, all that good jazz that I won't get into unless you specifically ask me. This is just DLSS off. Just really standard stuff here. I just kind of go back and forth just to give y'all an idea. I know my testing methodology is definitely not where it needs to be. And again, still can't figure this out. I'll find it, don't worry. It's even more cringe watching yourself do it. When you're doing it yourself, it's not as bad. You're like, it happens. But when I'm watching myself, I'm like, you're an idiot. Yep, yep, there it is. I will say, this is DLSS. I don't know. But it's going against FSR 3.1, which is the newest edition. And you can definitely tell the difference in FSR 2 and 3.1. I can promise you that. So here we got DLSS quality. As you can tell, the trees in the back starting to lose a little bit of their quality to it. Huh. Anyway, his hair. That's the one thing I want you to pay attention to is his hair. I've noticed his hair starting to get a little bit janky, like a little kid woke up straight out of bed, didn't brush her hair. And then on the later ones, I want to get into the metal up on that roof and the raindrops falling off of it. Those are very interesting. This one had a lot more graphical issues than Diablo. Diablo just made your character look like trash, but everything else actually wasn't that bad. Where this one, uh, you're going to see what the definition of dog water looks like. So everything looks fine here. His hair is starting to get just a little bit of this waviness to it, like this little texture. And you can see the trees in the back. They're starting to get blurry. Everything's starting to look what I'm calling canvassing. Everything's starting to look like a canvas, a real rough texture that got drawn on, basically. I think here I go to performance, which performance isn't awful in this game compared to Diablo, in my opinion. This game, you're actually in hallways a lot. You're in enclosed areas. So there's a lot more jagged edges in those areas, but render distance is kind of what I'm looking at. But DLSS looks a lot better than FSR. You can definitely tell that they're miles away compared to each other. Everything's just starting to get a little bit more blurry and texture-wise, but the game is still playable. Like I don't see any reason why you couldn't do performance on this, even though I personally wouldn't. This is all ray tracing on, all settings are maxed out. So this is kind of where you can start to see everything go downhill here. Just look at the trees in the back. Yeah, those are looking good right there. Look at them. Look at them trees. Look at this water right here. Um, the reflections was a big thing. You could start to see jagged edges and reflections. Um, and then I believe right here, the car, we are on Ultra Performance right now, but you can see the lines on the car. It's just kind of really glitchy. Uh, Straight lines looks like a big blur, like you just, again, took your contrast and turned it all the way down. Um, and just the leaves. The leaves are just little like blurry dots, in my opinion. So we're going to performance. Don't know why we're going backwards, but we're doing it. See, now you can tell that the car's got like two separate lines instead of one big graphical line. So performance isn't that bad. I'll give it credit. Performance isn't awful in DLSS. Balanced quality, I still feel like is where you need to be. But if you need a little bit more frames, or if you're a frame fiend like a few guys that I know, and you gotta have 90 or nothing else, and 60's not good for you, yeah, I'm calling you out. You know who you are. Your name starts with a B, but I won't name drop. Um, it's not bad at all. I'll give it some credit. Quality looks pretty good. You can still see the car kind of has a thing, but you can tell these are leaves though. Look at that. Look at that thing. You can see the trees and the water. Like the water looks really good. And then I think I'll turn it off as soon as I find it again. I'll find it. Don't worry about it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Turn it off. Look at these. Look at this car. Look at this car. It's a nice looking car right here. Look at these trees. Look at those leaves falling into the ground. Okay. So we're going on to the next thing. I want you to pay attention to the metal up here. This is one of the main things that I noticed. It's already doing it with it off. But you'll definitely see it when we get on down. I noticed it right now, so I wanted to see what it looked like. Rain, you can kind of see it right here. Where's it at? Where's it at? Hold on. Wait for it. Up, up, up. No, never mind. Wait. Yep, I found it. There we go. Quality. Change it again. Quality. Leave it there, dumbass. Okay, so right now somehow it disappears. Don't ask me why, but this water is slow motion. Excuse me. Little did I know there was arrows there to tell me to go back and forth. See, now you can start to see it. We're getting some corner action here. This water still looks like absolute dog water. Okay, here we go. Look at this nappy head. Look at that. Anyway, look at this. It's getting worse. It's starting to get worse. And this is the coup de grace right here. Shout out to my man Slim and M. Look at that. Absolute dog water. This whole thing. This is the worst performance mode. Ultra performance. Black Ops 6 might have it beat, actually. I'm not sure on that one. But yeah. Yeah, it's absolutely horrendous. So now, we're going to skip ahead. I did some still images here. Yeah, I quit the game. I got mad. Rage quit. Just some still images. This is always off. This is balanced now. You can tell even his jacket's starting to kind of change. You can see the lines on his jacket kind of blurring out. And then this is ultra performance. Again, it's harder to tell in still images, obviously, because it really relies on movement. But you can tell these bricks down here lose their kind of contrast. This up here is just a big gray piece now. Awful. Right. So on to FSR. This is good. There are some caveats, but it's not near as bad as you think. So all my Radeon fans out there, this is actually going to make you feel a little bit better. Did I just click on quality? I don't know. We're going to assume I did. I don't know why the water's doing this. It's pouring very brightly. Look at me. I'm getting faster at it. Look, an arrow. It works. Still, I pay attention to the hair, especially on FSR. I think FSR is really bad with like hair strands, any kind of thing like that requires a tremendous amount of detail. I think that's its downfall because the trees back here, well, just look at them. And his hair is starting to get nappy and frizzy. And then we're just gonna take a second. We're just gonna pause it. We're gonna pause it right here. Just the trees. I don't even know what this is anymore. I can't read this. The brick is very blurry. His jacket just looks like a piece of paper. So yeah, there's just fuzz all the way around his jacket from where it's trying so hard to downgrade those contrasts and just make it look somewhat decent. Um, and I think that I went back to the car. Yeah, I went back to the car. Let's back up 10 seconds here. So yeah. Oh, 10 more seconds. I'm sorry. I'll get it. Don't worry about it. This is we're doing it live. We're doing it live. Gorgeous car, man. I had one of those. I had a dream once and I had one. So FSR 3.1, the new stuff, quality looks fantastic. Um, you can tell I'm getting a lot better at this. Even balance, like balance, you can still see that these are two lines right here. I'm not fanboying or anything, but I think 3.1 definitely picks still the lines. His hair is getting a little bit blurry, but it's okay. We're not moving. That's the bad part. But now his hair's pretty rough, and yeah, it's just ultra performance. It's just not where it's at. And I go to none. And I think here I kind of, oh my god, my mouth sensitivity. There's a couple of people that know about that sensitivity. Here I think I kind of just walked around and I did some more images here, and it's basically the same story of of you know distance looks kind of awful, high detail stuff. Hair's always been hard to do for video games, which is fair. I mean, look what you got to do here. But distance wise, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into the bar graphs and kind of show you the numbers and kind of give you a conclusion on this. Look at that tree. What is that tree? All right. And so here we got the bar graph for Silent Hill. This one was kind of interesting in the fact that this was a major deficit. 40 to 60. I mean, we're talking DLSS with high ray tracing. Uh, if like even I would probably use quality at this point because I want that for 60 frames. I want Silent Hill to look as good as it can, and you're enclosed. A lot of times you're in an enclosed hallway, so your frames actually might go up a little bit. But in an open area, 60 is very doable. And I'm not that 90 frame rate guy. I'm giving you a lot of shit, man. I'm sorry. I'm going public. I'm doing it live. But 40 is just unplayable. So I would use quality here. The jump is to me just doesn't reap the benefits of it. I'm not going to degrade my image for 5 frames. I'm definitely not going to degrade my image for 10 more than 65 or 5 more than 75. Like this right here isn't worth it in my opinion. But this right here is absolutely perfect. FSR kind of linear across the board. I think you are good with these three right here. Obviously, the 6750 XT is not a ray tracing machine. No Radeon card is. AMD kind of slacks at that, which is fine. If it's not meant for it, it's not meant for it. So, I mean, you turn ray tracing off, you're not going to have a problem. You might have to get 60 frames on quality at max settings. But other than that, I think these three will suit you just fine. Again, we just annul these two right here. I don't know. I get performance, but I feel like you could just downgrade a couple of settings instead of trying to. I just feel like this degrades more graphical stuff than just downgrading up a couple of settings. Honestly, it's not worth it to me. But yeah, that's that. I got another video coming out Black Ops 6, it's got some very interesting things. I didn't do a very good test in that one. I was getting kind of aggravated with this by that time, but there's still, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that's pretty insane. But if you liked it, I'm glad you did. Give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, well, I don't know why you're here, but if you are here and you don't like it, there's nothing I can do about that. So thanks for watching anyway, and I will see you on the next one.